friends, and we're back. So, as you step out from the town hall, having arranged for your delivery, technically this is where you would level up as per the book, but I prefer doing that preemptively. You step out back onto the how should I put it? The fairway, I guess, of the town. Like I said, it's now a bit more as people are sort of crowding around. You notice that just on the side of the town hall, there's a small path that leads sort of inwards into this inner ring of buildings, and you can see that there are people there, either rolling barrels or bringing out water pitchers or that kind of thing. There's definitely passageway coming through, and you can actually hear beyond the murmuring of the crowd. You can hear the sort of bubbling and sort of the rushing of water. If you wish to go and have a look.
Even with what we discussed with the captain, Astrea would have look at Farron at some point during the walk and go, I know they told us everything was more expensive here, but I'm counting on you to negotiate everything to the fullest you can.
Duly noted. Do you have any priorities you want to look at? I don't know if we can get any serious... DM, would we be able to get weaponry here that is like the non-gizmo kind, like the guns for the ship or whatnot?
You'll have to find out.
Good. Do you want any priorities for the ship? Armament, supplies? Essentially, if it comes down to it, where should I put the biggest effort to negotiate them down? I don't know. I was asking Astrea if she had an answer.
I think you spaced out there, right?
Yeah, and I thought you were talking with the DM about.
Would I have a priority as to what you guys want to equip your ship? No, absolutely. Forget the sails.
I think the answer is I trust you on the priorities.
Fair enough.
Crew comfort and security of the ship are to her the main priorities, but she knows that you've made the list, you've been around the ship for that specific purpose, so and it has been discussed already. So if the player needs incentive, it would be crew comfort and making sure the ship is actually seaworthy and well equipped, but Farron himself, she trusts him.
Okay. Also agreed, and also, no matter how expensive it is here, this is probably our best opportunity to resupply before a while, so I'd rather us not go out missing essentials. Good. Let's go shopping. And with that, I think we would investigate the city.
Okay. The main attraction of this place is the wellspring. And you, as I said, as you sort of step out from the town hall, you take a quick right into the sort of, and you have this sort of inner ring of houses, and in the center is a sort of a wide, almost like a caldera. It's about maybe, I would say maybe about 10 meters wide. And it is a constant gushing of water to the point where the center of it is sort of basically bombus. It is domed to the point where the water pressure is just coming out. It's constant pressure coming out. I shall give you a. Well, you can if you just click at the center. However, here we go. Show that to our friends as well. There we go. Right, so on a small hill at the center of the town. Well, they say hill, right? It's superimposed. It's higher than the level of the jungle floor, but here, it's barely cresting the platform itself. And there is, well, we don't see them here, but there is sort of mechanisms of either pumps or to sort of where you can see that there's people basically pull the water directly from the wellspring into large barrels, and this is pretty much the way of the main export of Phosphor Town. There is the security here is absurd. As in, there are. I think that with what you've seen and that paranoia that you have, it is paramount to you notice that not only there are the archers sort of patrolling, but there also are people in sort of civilians sort of watching the crowd. If there's, for example, there's a small incident or whatever, you'll notice that there's a beggar there, or there's an old man who seem to, beggars no, but there's an old man that sort of moves a bit too quickly to sort of look in the direction of the noise. This is their treasure, and they are keeping it safe from anyone and everyone. There is, however, a particular strangeness to this. So they have the caldera in the middle, and it pushes out the source of 3 rivers, one of which you followed up to here. And I mentioned that it was kind of, it had a sort of a sooty, not sooty, a muddy look to it, right? There's a lot of silt. There you go, that's the word. Upon it. The other 2 rivers are fairly different. As one seems to, as it sort of flows downwards, it feels like you see flashes of fire, almost like dancing gaslight, pretty much just sort of shimmering atop of it. It looks like the river itself is almost a flame. And the second one seems to, the third one has a sort of a different kind of look. It's almost like it's fizzing or bubbly. Each of these elements sort of corresponding to the general direction cardinal direction where these are taking. A weird particularity of this particular place. But you do understand that this wellspring, this corridor from the elemental plane of water, is most likely the most reliable source of potable water in the Drake Isles. And so, yes, when you protect a monopoly, because you have nothing else, you protect it well. Where do you head next? Markets?
I think Pax takes a brief moment at the wellspring, just really transfixed by the three-way split of the river for a moment. And he takes a brief moment to orient himself, trying to figure out where they came from and which river stream they followed.
Yeah, you followed these. You followed the. It's the one. I mean, it's fairly simple. It is the one that goes down here. So the southern or the Earthway, basically.
So he briefly glances earthward from the direction they came, sees that stream go into the wellspring and then split into two rivers streaming equidistant away from each other. And he just scoffs. Just an audible before following the rest forwards to wherever we go.
Fairly quickly, with any sort of question as you ask, it's, where can we find where can we find this or these kinds of services? You are pointed to the back of the town, which once again is a even higher raised platform, where the markets happen, and these would be up here. As you approach, here again, security, right? But the markets of Astrea Town consist of a semicircle of permanent shops and a series of smaller stalls that take up much of the market's wooden platform, as you can see on the screen right now. On the larger shops, these are going to be more about. These are more going to be about any sort of forages, armory, that kind of thing. The center one right here seems to be more of it's a trading house, right? Where people on different ships come in from, basically to bring down either letters of sale or something along. They'll bring in maybe a sample of goods, and they say basically, I've got 3 crates of this particular product. What are you trading for me? And so that basically, there's a big sort of a trade house there. As for what you're looking for, pretty much any basic supplies you're looking for, you will be able to find here. However, if you do want to have more specifics, and we can go and trade them. We have a mechanism for that, and we actually have. This is where the not sponsored part of this episode comes into play, as we will be using the Towns and Villages by Game Master Worlds. Basically, we're going to be using their shop cards. Again, this is not sponsored, but I really like how these things are. Basically, choose your shops, and you'll be able to find. So right here, I'm looking at the blacksmith, for example. You'll find how much armor, how much martial weapons will cost, and so forth. If you're looking for the Fletcher, for ammunition, that kind of thing. We have everything from foods to gears and gems, to general store, to markets, different market stalls and that kind of thing. Consider that apart from a few specifics, you have everything is sort of generally here in a way, or you can find most of the things. So anything, for example, general store, most likely. The jeweler and tinkerer might be a bit more expensive, but that kind of thing. So tell me, friends, what are we looking for? So what do you do basically? By the way, do you stay together or do you sort of separate into the market stalls?
I know that Pax also wants to hit an armor of some kind because we discussed it, and Astrea also needs to go to an armor. So that's for one. And I think she would like to hit the general store as well.
By the way, something that I forgot to mention. There are kids here. There are children. As opposed to Maladel, where you kind of figure that they were mostly here. It is it feels like a multi-generational colony, if I can call it that. As you will see people of all ages, including children, as sort of running through the stalls and that kind of thing. Not a lot, but enough to tell you that maybe, as you're looking about, there's maybe something along the lines, maybe 100, 200 families. That seems a lot. Let me check. Please, keep going. Yeah, tell me what you do while I check the numbers here.
Another one to do.
Yeah, Pax is definitely going for the armory. Oh, my bad, Andreas. Pax is definitely going for the armory and might be interested to make a dip to the jeweler.
I think Farron's priorities are going to be for the job, so he's going to try and get the supplies for the Chimera first. And then he is going to finally get rid of that leather tabard that's an inheritance of his cook days and try and get himself some proper armor suitable to his new fighting style.
Okay, so hearing
armor.
that, Astrea is gonna say, I'm pretty sure we'll get much better rates if we all go in at once. So the armor is certainly something we need to go see. Do you need something from the general store?
Well, we need some basic supplies for the ship, some grog, and I think the surgery should have everything. So we go there for the essentials, and then we go for the armory.
Okay.
Yeah. So just a little reminder, just because I want to keep it simple, and we don't the ship management doesn't need to go down to the thing. For anything that is sort of a bulk buy, as in supplies for the ship, that will be done at the trade house, where you will find. And I'm going to consider that anything that you bring in from Maladel is going to zero out with anything that you take out for general needs for the ship. Right.
Cool.
So you do not necessarily need to sort of stock up on or think about that. Well, maybe if you wish to have a scene, we certainly can. However, mostly think about your individual needs right now and what you're looking for. Okay? Because, of course, you'll have everything at the general store and the general market and that kind of thing, the sailors' sundries and all sorts of that. But you're also going to be water and local goods and that kind of thing is going to sort of run in. I don't know if we had actually measured the amount of goods that you got brought in from Maladel, but to keep it simple, we can just sort of zero it off. So, where are we headed first?
I'm thinking because we all got banged up and we might just ask for, maintenance of the gear that we're not going to replace. The armory might be the best first place to stop at.
Yeah.
Let's start at the armory. I apologize for the folks at home if it's a bit difficult to read, but I don't know. I'll see with we'll discuss with the others here. Do I put in a link to the shop for these things? But who knows? By the end of this, by the time this airs, maybe we will be sponsored by Game Master Worlds. Right. So, what are we looking at, guys? So, I'll say this: as you step into the armory, it is very much it's an open floor plan. Again, most of the houses here and the shops, you realize that the walls are mostly the walls can be almost taken out, right? And here, especially with the armory, you've got they are showing off their back rooms, where you actually see a working forge, and you do see somebody and there is a bit further down a tannery and that kind of thing. All of they are definitely working here and showing how it is. This style is clearly Caroline. Clearly, the shape of the swords, the cut of the armor, these are Caroline workers doing nothing. Now, Pax, you being of the Empire, a lot of this stuff seems to be out of date in a way, right? The technology, well, swords are always swords, but they seem to be they don't have access to the best steel, let's put it this way. As you're looking about, you're going, this sword is kind of flimsy as to what I would be given sort of standard, right? But there's a bit, because it's a bit more worked. The quality's less with regards to the base steel, but there's more workmanship into it. I don't know if that sort of makes sense. More personalized than the cold military. There's more artistry in these, but very much Caroline Empire standard. What are you looking into?
Just for us to know, the prices are correct or not especially correct?
The prices are correct. I will keep to those prices. However, so normally what would happen is that per the book, these are more expensive because they need to be brought in or resources are rare. However, because you came in with the reputation as a friend of Maladel, and as long as you hold yourselves well, you are getting a discount which sort of zeroes out again. So the prices here, at least for the blacksmith and the Fletcher, are as per what you see on screen.
Okay.
The smith, you can see the smith is instructing he's training an apprentice. He's sort of this I guess, let's see, what kind of beast would they, what kind of race would they be? I think maybe tiefling. So again, sort of an inferni, a broken horn that has been sort of capped with iron. he's sort of maybe mocking one of his apprentices because something too hot or whatever. As he just sort of reaches in, grabs a couple of coals, puts them back, sort of laughing. It is mocking, but it's sort of in general good nature. And sort of walks up to you, sort of wiping his hands on his apron. Hello. What can I help you with? New in town.
Hi. Yes, just arrived yesterday.
Well, I'm hurt that your first stop wasn't here.
It was a bit late yesterday. And our first stop is actually your shop.
Well then, all is mended. What are you looking for?
Yeah, my companions would be in need of some new gear. Ours has been suffering a bit from wear and tear those last weeks.
Fair enough. Are you looking for more your standard affair or something a bit more bespoke?
I think for now your standard array looks good. It will depend on your bespoke budget as well.
I'll not hide that while we do have the knowledge, we are not as well as equipped as any sort of Caroline high port, but we've been known to make a fancier piece here and there, so if you have an idea, we can always discuss the plans, and if it goes too far, I'll let you know.
It's good to know. For my part, I would be interested in another form of armor, something slightly heavier. I was thinking maybe scale mail or something along those lines and those prices.
And is this okay? As he brings you to scale, the scale mail, he basically brings out again the difference. Mail here is this is not nothing here is prêt-à-porter, right?
Yeah.
As in everything will need to be sort of adjusted and suited to your plate.
Yeah.
To your side. But yeah, he does have a few sort of pieces, again, scale mail. It's your standard affair, right? It's utilitarian. It will last. The way that you're actually quite surprised at how well how well this is sort of treated. You do notice that the quenching bucket seems to have flames on top of it, so they are directly quenching into wellspring water, probably from the fire river.
Yeah.
And there is a sort of there is something along the lines of maybe it's because they didn't have any other way of treating, but there is a different sheen to the metal here. Just a little bit more oil slick, in a bit more Aetherian sheen to the metal here, showing that it's been produced here. And again, he'll go through the sales pitch, right? As in where the ore comes from, where most of it is, and he'll go through different kind of styles, and there is, while most of it is sort of standard Caroline knowledge and style, you do find that some of them are maybe better quality than others. Nothing enough to justify a mechanical difference in the statistics, but there's definitely a few of his apprentices that are better than others. Let's put it that way. So, Astrea, you're looking more for scale mail?
Yeah, the breastplate unfortunately is 400 gold pieces, and I don't have that budget, so I'll settle for scale mail.
Okay.
And I think Astrea is also going to invest in a battle axe while she's at it.
Okay. Feel free if you wish to give me a description of the armor or weaponry. Feel free to do so. Like I said, some of these are. It feels like a lot of these how should I put it? A lot of these, some weapons sort of deviate from norm simply because maybe they are bored by making always the same kind of thing, and so they try to get a little bit more creative with them. So if you want to go with for a spin on whatever axe that you get, feel free.
I think for this scale mail, I'm thinking since we are on the Aetherial Expanse and sea is basically everywhere around, I'm wondering, would the scales actually have a fish scale form instead of the usual oval one? Just because that's what they're used to do, to see, and so they would have that kind of slight ribbing that you see on fish scales.
Yeah, I would think it'd be more fish rather than fish scales
or
rather than
maybe
the triangular reptilian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
As for the axe, she's gonna grab one who's fairly simple at the top, but has that spiked part at the bottom, because that allows you for you to also hit in something and grab or remove something, or I think
Okay. Yep, you can definitely. So, the scale mail, that's 50. The great axe is 30, so you can remove 80 from your. And that is the great axe, so the heavy two-handed, right? Oh no, battle axe. Battle axe.
No, the battle axe.
Yeah, so battle axe is 10, so that's much less. So that would be 60 for you. Pax? What are you looking into?
Pax is currently walking through the shield row, so he sees a couple of heather shields, he sees a couple of kite shields, and he's not happy. He's never been happy with the standard Imperial models, even though these have little tweaks. And he actually goes up to the smith. About a shield. And he just basically gestures to how his arms are a bit longer than a regular humanoid, how he's tall and lanky, how he has more surface to protect. Do you have something more oval and long, but still light?
Yeah, I think we can do something along those lines. Do you prefer more wood, steel?
Whatever the sturdiest material you can work with.
Well, and he sort of again goes into the reason why some or others, right? That whereas if an arrow catcher will be more made of wood because arrows will deflect and bounce, so off of a more metal one. If you want something really really light, well then go for hardened leather. That he just sort of goes in. I think the two. Which would you prefer? Would you rather see the more sort of oval-ish? I think you come down to two models, right? You have maybe the oval, almost leaf-shaped, sort of African. That kind of pointy towards end, or you have the Gaulish, which is basically sort of square-ish but tapered toward the center, sort of a bit more tapered to the center.
Yeah, I was more going towards more the African tribal shields, befitting also lizardmen.
Fair enough.
Very much going for something that would be crafted with hardwood and leather, thickened leather, reinforced leather, and stuff like that for lightness and for boarding and that kind of idea.
You notice that a lot of the leather here is not actually meat, if I can use that term. A lot of this is either taken from vines or treated bark or some sort of. I mean, some of the vines that you meant had that sort of a rubbery kind of feel to it, and that's definitely being used here, right? As you can probably feel that the leather straps around this shield were probably either creeper vines or poison vines of some sort, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, you can add yourself a shield.
Awesome.
Anything else for anyone? Yes?
Yeah, I'm thinking of something. Astrea would ask and would come pick up the armor the next day if needed. But just to add on the shoulder, on the right shoulder, asset symbol.
Right. Okay. He sort of looks at you up and down, go, huh. Of course, yes, that would. No, I think no. He's a tiefling. I think he has a smile, and he has that smile that just goes. Again, it's that creepy little smile where it just goes a bit further than it should. As he sort of nods, and I think he has a. There is sort of that tapping. Of nails against the chest that sort of mark the constellation, as he's probably an adept himself.
Yeah.
Hey. And he said, "Yeah, that'll be. I'll add that for a silver."
I'll give him the silver, no discussion.
Okay. Will you be wanting that blessed as well, or just the symbol suffices?
What is the difference, and would she? I mean, she can bless her own armor technically.
Fair enough.
So...
Fair enough.
No, just the symbol will suffice. Okay. Thank you.
If at any point you wish to try and find, and this is open to anyone, right? If you are trying to find something specific that might be a bit more powerful than your basics, please let me know. We'll do the rolls if necessary. Okay? Because I believe I have also a list somewhere in my computer about common... common prices for magical items. So, right.
But we're all too poor for that. So at the moment, Pax takes a moment to, throw a quick glance over the weapons and everything, and he feels the edge of his short sword, and you see him consider for a moment, but then he just asks if they can sharpen his sword and hammer it back in shape.
Absolutely, friend. Yeah, that'll cost you maybe a handful of silver. Yeah, that'll Astrea, make that 5 silver, and Pax same, basically.
Sure.
Okay.
Sort of full treatment. If any of you have any weapons that you wish to sort of place, just come back in an hour. Just do the circle, round the circle of the markets, and come back and pick them up. He gets one of his apprentices on it fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Pax, however, is this your short sword or no, just your short sword?
Yeah, I've mainly used a short sword against the plants, so I'm imagining the rubber probably dulled the blade after several battles. It's fluff-wise. The boarding axe is visible, but it's on Pax's belt.
Okay. Yeah, as you hand him as you hand him your weapon, he immediately clocks it or goes, "Oh." If immediately sort of clocks it up. Oh, what have you been using this for? Well, it's if you're looking for something that more of a, he basically shows you. Oh, it's good enough, but he's trying to sell his product, right? He's like, oh yeah, oh of course I can sharpen this, but we might have something better in stock.
Yeah.
Right? Do you follow suit, or you'd rather have?
Oh no, Pax is gonna follow suit. He knows well enough that markets can be places of opportunity as well.
You clock that he clocks the Navy seal on your weapon. It seems that he sort of has another look towards the thing. Oh, and again, he starts asking you questions. Make me an insight check. Let's do this.
Sure thing. Insight. Clicky.
Oh, with the 19? Okay, that's good. You figure out his line of questioning. He's trying to figure out how much of this sword is yours, rather than rather than belonging to somebody whose corpse you picked it off of. So it's a lot about show me how you hold it, that kind of thing. And he's trying to figure out who you are by the origins of this short sword. How much do you figure this line of question fairly quickly? Do you lean in? Do you step out? What information do you disseminate?
Pax makes no effort to hide anything. That sword is familiar to him. There's a reason he gripped onto it when his ship blew up. He's clearly wielding it with clear hints of Caroline swordsmanship behind it because he has grown up there.
Yeah, there's definitely a area of judgment or assessment rather, as he recognizes you as being, if not presently or at least formally, Caroline military. So yeah, you've been clocked definitely with regards to that.
So, you see Pax pauses for a moment, and he glances from the corner of his eye to Farron. You see him ponder in that second, and then just turns towards the smith and just like, you want to tell me why all of that was important?
I apologize, friend, if my questioning was intrusive. It was not at all meant. I could lie to your face and tell me that it was me trying to better serve your needs by figuring what those were. But let's just say that to many, while you will hear a familiar tone in most voices on this island, there's a reason why we're here. And so, having have Imperial militaries drop in, even little bit by bit, here on the island, well, they stand out and usually Well, if they make trouble, we're quick to find out.
I can't fault you for getting nervous from hearing Stray Caroline Empire.
Oh, it's just I would be suspicious anyway. I don't know you, friend. But I think I know you a little bit better now. And I've been hearing you talk with your other folks there and motley crew. So I'm guessing that this blade here is more a representation of a past affectation rather than the current one.
That would be accurate.
Well, then I am happy to serve you in this fashion, then.
You see, Pax takes a moment frowning at the implication of it's a past. It's a badge that was on there. It also represented his stance as first mate on another ship.
It was, I think, what's the history behind this blade? Was it, because your main blade is the boarding
axe,
right?
Yeah.
So what's the history behind this particular blade?
There is this matter of etiquette, but above all of rank being represented through dress. And there's always been that controversial thing about Gracia's crew of having a beast-like humanoid as a first mate, rather than a distinguished Caroline-born or Caroline-moved, more humanoid kind of creature. That sword, when it was finally given to him, when he was finally offered the rank officially on paper, to be recorded in the officers' lineup of the Caroline Empire, finally allowed him entry to places he would never be allowed in just for how he looked. There was suddenly a degree of being more on equal terms, if only performatively so, to the others, rather than constantly just being the beast, this wait outside.
Okay. I mean, it's... I think that's... Gracia had this tradition, right? Whenever she would... it would either be a dagger, a short sword, or some sort of side weapon. Never the principal weapon, but usually a side piece, if that makes... You get what I mean. But it would always be something bespoke to the character, right? So so this particular handle has been made for your grip, which is not entirely human. So yeah.
You see Pax's eyes slide over towards some of the scimitars that are nearby on the table. How about... Yeah, I've been lugging that old thing around for no reason. Almost forgot that badge was on there. How about you melt that down? And you check the grip and apply it to one of those.
Yeah, we can do that. Sorry, friend, if I brought up a painful memory.
We are... ever-changing lately. And I think it's time I got rid of some bad habits.
Fair enough. Pick any one of the blades that you find suitable, and would you be wanting the same steel? I know that
if it's salvageable.
If it's Caroline steel, I can reforge it, certainly. Just take a little bit more time.
See what you can do. And Pax puts down 30 gold pieces. Scimitar is 25. He puts down 30 on the table.
More than enough. I'll get on it myself. Well, if your friend here doesn't, well, I'll first deal with the easier part of that engraving, damn, milady, and then I'll get to your friend with your permission. Right.
Just no.
Before I schedule anything else in the rest of my day, how about the rest of you two? Is there anything that I can do for you personally? Addressing Gizmo and Farron.
How much of that little unpleasantness earlier with Pax did I witness and overhear?
What do you think, Jeremy?
Since he was doing it under the mum of selling his goods, he was speaking quite openly. I think Pax would not. He's not really hiding anything at this point.
Right.
So, if you're paying attention, you would spot.
Mm-hmm. Do I get the sense that this is? You said he had this smile that was a bit too large. This kind
which
of
is probably which is mostly. There's nothing sinister about it. That's just the nature of who he is, what he is
right.
That his smile goes. He shows more teeth when he smiles.
Right, but he seems otherwise. I haven't spotted any dishonesty. Like he's not trying to screw kind of like people over, or at least hasn't tried to screw us over in terms of the values, etc.
Make me an insight check.
Yes, please. Insight. Ah, yes, beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see. That's.
You get no additional information to move your judgment one way or another. But no, he doesn't.
Right. I think just for the principle of kind of like having tried to passive-aggressively bore at a crewmate, Farron's going to make choices here. And he's going to start looking in the back, not through, past the armor, past the larger breastplates and everything, and he's going to look towards brigandine, studded leather, and such accessories.
And just a reminder, brigandines, those are not light armor.
Yeah. But I mean...
Just a reminder, we know, all you historians out there, studded leather does not exist. We understand that.
Wait, Farron, are you trying to buy studded leather?
I'm looking at what he has in store.
Because I just bought scale mail to get out of my studded leather.
I turn towards Astrea.
If you don't mind, don't mind the hours of mending I would have to do on the armor to get it pristine again, you're welcome to it.
I will allow, if you want to transfer. So, I'll put this down right here, because one of the things that I've always found immensely funny in any RPG game is you kill a giant, you loot his armor, and the halfling just fits in it. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, Astrea, if you want to legacy, you want to legacy your armor to Farron, it'll cost you a silver to sort of reshape it, and let's put 5 silver to sort of have it retapered to Farron, and maybe sort of, because Astrea and Farron, you're not the same size.
Not the same size, not the same build either.
So I will for 5 silver the trade.
I will give my studded leather to the smith, and with 5 Farron, if you don't mind giving the 5 silver.
I think I can survive with that, and I leave 5 on the table. I also go then looking for a cloak, something that is nice and warm and has like what you would call a kazak, essentially, and like something that can be with some pockets for storage, something that.
Yeah, guys, remember, this is doesn't have to be full medieval. If you were going for a long coat, you may.
Yeah.
Not quite the long coat, but yeah, what yeah, like the
Astrea's studded leather was already looking like something akin to a trench coat or a mariner's
Yep.
heavy over
Okay.
jacket, so it wouldn't be
Yeah.
that difficult.
because I was thinking in terms of what he would go for. I was thinking of something almost kind of like an Indian coat of 10,000 nails, or kind of like something almost like a coat that acts with not as heavily embroidered, but something that could look suitably formal if needed, but while still packing a lot of protection.
I actually had to search references for it, but it
Yeah,
looks very cool. It looks very nice,
That's what I'm
actually.
doing right now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see it. Which is, I mean, the coat of 1,000 nails. That is the closest that we could get to. How should I put it? Not a brigandine, but no, that would be studded leather, right? So yeah, definitely.
So reworking something like that.
I mean, to be fully honest, one of the things that I had seen this is LARPing technology, so, but somebody who had basically taken a long coat and had doubled chainmail on the inside. So on the outside he was just wearing a long coat, but on the inside it was technically bulletproof.
Nice.
I'm exaggerating for the in-game, but this is very much going to be the style as well, right? A lot of these, it doesn't. You can have, how should I put it? In the style of the Caroline Empire, because the Empire is a nautical empire back home on salty seas. Any armor that they have is usually covered in cloth or some kind of leather, and to protect from from the salt and from the humidity and that kind of thing, right? So a lot of what the Caroline what you'll see here is a mixture between, it's going to be hidden armor under these heavy coats. Some of them more ostentatious than others, but it's going to be that mix. Right, even
Right.
I think even with the scale mail, for example, it will be part of it. It is a front. It will be sort of hidden within layers of sort of a long coat or something like that.
So in which case, I think I will ask the armorer how long it would take to refit Astrea's old studded leather into something discreet, but still packing a punch in terms of defensive capabilities. Something more.
Well, that will. Well, there's the. Well, if you'll trust one of my apprentices, I can have that done by the same time I've had the rest of the orders through. But let's see. Maybe I have something. Have maybe some. If you're looking for something a bit more. He does look through. You know what? Make me a standard luck check.
Sure, coming
And
right
if
up.
And you can spend lucky points to re-roll that, should you wish.
Oh, yeah. I mean, luck changed from what I understand in...
I'm using.
Oh,
this.
beautiful! There we go.
You had to say it. You had to say it out loud. My luck changed. That one. No.
I didn't say my luck changed.
Oh, sorry.
No,
That's what I heard.
I said luck changed in...
Oh, sorry.
In lucky, like the lucky feat.
Okay, I haven't had it. It's not on my screen yet. So that was a nat one.
Yeah.
That was a natural one, baby.
Okay.
However, I
okay.
do have the lucky feat.
Yes, if you do have luck points, you can spend them to re-roll that luck die.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that I can. That I'm going to use that to give myself advantage on the roll because, oh boy.
This is a different mechanic. I'm using that particular feature for a different mechanic altogether.
Okay. In which case,
Just roll another d20.
you're right. And this is how we roll. Much more better. That's an 18 on the
It's
die.
an 18? 18 on the die. Okay.
Yes.
That's weird because I don't see those two rolls appear in Roll20.
I might have not clicked on my token.
No, it's not. It's not linked to the token.
It shouldn't.
Let me just verify here. Here we go.
I see it on D&D Beyond, so maybe it didn't roll on Roll20 alone.
So, what he does present to you is there's a on an 18. There's a. He brings out a bundle of cloth. The cloth itself is it's fairly light, smooth, almost like silk. He goes, well, this was brought in a few months ago, and that's more expensive than your usual, but it allows for some better protection, especially if he has an eye to that Zulfikar scimitar that you have at your belt, because especially if you're going to be a bit lighter on your feet. For they call this pride silk. Essentially,
All right.
a pride silk outfit it basically, if I remember correctly, if you are not wearing armor, your base armor class goes up to 11. So it's not armor, but does allow some protection. However, the outfit will cost you roughly around, let's see, it's about 1 square yard. You tell me, love. For a coat, how much do I need? How much cloth do I need?
Coat?
Is it 1, 2 yards, 3 yards?
At least 2.
2? Yeah.
Depending on how it's cut, you can go up to 4.
Okay. Considering that the yard is about 100 gold pieces a yard, this is going to be expensive. But if you're interested,
I reach for it and let it unfurl. And well, that is interesting. Is it supposed to look like that? And as I say this, I'm going to use a little something which I am going to request of the vendor an investigation check against my spell save DC of 14 as I use an old gift and apply distort value.
Okay, risky move, but let's try it out. So
I mean, it doesn't say that. Fair enough. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to give him a +4 on this.
Oh God.
I mean, he's proficient. So let's go for +4. So 1d20 +4. And the 14 you said.
It's against my spell save DC, which is yes.
That's a 19 on the die.
Ooh.
Dang. I don't think your spell save DC is higher than 19.
No, it's not.
No,
It's very
I rolled
much
a
not.
20. I rolled a 23.
Mm-hmm.
Farron.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be asking you a very important charisma save right here.
Right?
As he notices the trick. Now, what you're going to try to do is, let's put it this way. I'm going to put the difficulty at 15.
Sure.
At under 15, he gets angry. You hit a 15 to a 20, he stays neutral. You hit above a 20, he might take it as a joke.
Fair enough. Might is good. I can work with might. So is a charisma saving throw, you said?
I am going to allow you to use persuasion.
Persuasion check. Okay.
Actually, no.
I'm going to...
Are you proficient with your saving throw for charisma?
I am proficient in my charisma saving throw, but however, it is exactly the same as my
your
persuasion check.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm going to use my luck point to give myself advantage on the roll.
Okay.
And if everything fails, I do have my heroic inspiration for the day. So let's hope that I don't need any of this. Here goes nothing. That is a natural 20.
For a 26.
Ooh, very nice.
Hey.
I think he looks at you, and again there's that, the eyebrow goes up. He sort of snickers. Again, he looks at you the same way this would be the same way as a magician, a contact magician looking at another contact magician and going,
yeah.
I know the trick.
And,
I appreciate.
And basic.
And he goes, oh, I haven't seen that trick in a while.
It's it has its uses, but
look, friend,
shakes it out and it's pristine again.
I appreciate the hustle. I would maybe try and limit that here. There's a few people who grew up on the streets and in Imperial streets, and we know that trick. So, though I haven't seen it done quite that well, that differently. Anyhow, look, friend, I understand that this might be beyond your means. He sort of wraps it up, takes it to the side. No, it's here for now.
It is a beautiful piece, and there's genuine appreciation, and I'm trying to share essentially the body language of game recognizes game and kind of like being genuine about it.
He takes it laughing, but you also understand that behind that laughing smile, there's a few teeth that just got a little bit sharper. Because now he knows you're a swindler, right? He appreciates the hustle. He knows what you did, and but he also don't. It's when you catch a card shark, and you're a card shark yourself. Game recognizes game doesn't mean I'm going to play with you more.
Sure. Well, one good turn deserves another, and I'm going to try and find, essentially, not the most expensive, but like an improbably cut or gaudy piece of ware that is not clownish, but the sort of thing that looks like it's been sitting on his shelves for a little while. And I'm willing to spend 40 gold on an outfit that is going to be a little bit much, but might get me back in his good graces.
Okay. So 40 is that, and so what are you buying basically?
I am buying essentially.
I mean, just you can, if you want to buy from his wares, just look at what.
from what I've seen here, this is the armory. We're still
This
in
is
the armory, right?
Yes, this is a very long shopping episode. We spent 1 hour in the armory.
Hello. No, I'm going to buy an extra set of. I'm going to buy an extra set of studded leather.
Okay.
That is essentially a little bit on the peacock side. Like this was designed.
Yeah. You're going for the bespoke. It's supposedly the master work of one of the apprentices. This is one of the apprentices pretty much learned how to what do you call when you do the it's not engraving on leather, right? But it's sort of push. That when you so basically it's this.
Embossing, I think.
I guess, yeah, I think. Leather workers in the chat, you let us know. But it's definitely, yes, it's this very intricate leather armor that has, it's almost intricate to the point where it might be more dangerous to wear. It removes from the protection that it actually has in a sense. If you I've got the Nilfgaard armor from The Witcher.
Oh God!
With the whole,
yes.
the whole thing. But yeah, it is overly to the point where it is kind of gauche.
Sure.
But
I'll grab that.
Okay. It's so definitely. That would be the studded leather then.
And but still the same order. I'm happy to take the same order for adjustments for the piece we've just discussed, and pointing at Astrea's.
Considering that studded leather is 45 gold pieces, you put down 40. That is considering that you're giving that, and that is an exchange basically. So.
All right.
But yes. So, Astrea, you can remove that studded leather from Farron, you can add some on your end. Edit, you are wearing gaudy. Feel free to put in. If you want to put peacock studded leather, fair enough. You know what, Farron? Your homework. Find me a description for that particular armor. So what's exactly on the whole thing?
Time to inspire yourself of Brazilian Carnival.
Leather armor by Desigual. Right, Gizmo.
Wow.
Farron, are you good with that, or I think
I'm good. I'm good.
That and we're moving on because again, Gizmo, what are you looking for?
Oh, Gizmo shopping list. Bolts for my short bow.
Yeah.
For my crossbow, sorry. Then possibly also ammunition for my pistol. How much
you will
will that
not
set me back?
find? You do not find anything that is gunpowder related here.
What?
Very good craftsmanship when it comes to bow and fletching. But you are told specifically that no. For gunpowder and gunpowder accessories, Caldera has the only market for that.
Thank you. I'll remember that. So yeah, I'll ignore that. I'll take my.
That is going to be the same for any of the bigger gunpowder variety, as in cannons or anything that would be mounted on top of the ship. You will not find those wares here. They're not sold here.
Okay.
You could potentially have maybe a ballista or something along those lines made for your ship. I just need to check if there's a stat block for it. Yeah. But
anything that is explodey is not fine.
Gunpowder is not here. No.
Okay. And then, so I'll cut to the point. Second thing is, I look at my Ikwa,
Yep.
looking a little bit like hanging by a thread, and echoing, I think it was Pax's words when he said it's time for a change.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just push gently the Ikwa on the on the countertop, and it's like, a short sword, please.
Yeah,
And
not a
I'll
problem.
literally take any. I have no idea how short sword work.
I think when Gizmo reaches out for a random short sword, Pax will intercede and start helping him out. Just offering a smaller short sword with a shorter grip first. Try this one. And just, going through short sword to short till you find one that feels good in your grip.
I imagine in the end we find something that is more of a gladius than an actual short sword, so it's like very, very short sword, even by normal standards, but it looks like a regular sword to me, basically. So something like a gladius. Yeah.
If you have one of those, you're joining drills in the morning.
Yeah, maybe I'll enjoy that. Thank you.
I'll wake you up with Farron next time.
Interesting.
Not if I wake Farron first.
And yeah, that will be pretty much it. So I think it's yeah, okay.
Yeah, short sword, normal price. Yep.
Perfect.
I think here's a question, Gizmo. Would you be looking for a more standardized gladius, as in, so this would be fully Caroline standard, or are you looking to something more of a the kukri sickle type of?
What's Pax's view about weapons aesthetic? Like, once you find something that is functional, it does its purpose, do you look also for aesthetic, or is it just whatever?
Actually, no. Like in the deeper discussion that we're gonna do when I describe the shield and stuff, Pax has been discussing decorative elements. Pax is a very visible warrior, and he makes himself shown, and he makes sure people have their eyes on him so he can terrify them or intimidate them or feint them into a strike. So he's not necessarily purely function over aesthetics.
Okay. Then I would imagine the gladius would look somewhat intimidating to a kobold. Like to a bigger creature, it's like it doesn't have anything special to it. But to me, I see one specific decoration, maybe a small detail on the handle of the gladius, and I'm like, oh yeah, that will terrify my enemies to their heart.
I mean, the gladius is very much the gladius that is sold to you is, it could be, it's about the size of a well, no. For you, it'd be of course it's bigger, right? But it's one of those swords that you both fight with and you also cut up your food with. It is it's an all-purpose blade.
All-purpose.
Right?
Okay.
That is very much how it's sold to you. So maybe the beauty is not necessarily in the details, but it's sort of functionality, pure functionality, as opposed to the kukris that the local archers are using that are specifically used. It's almost half axe, right? These are not short swords that. The difference would be they would do slashing damage rather than piercing damage.
Right. Okay, that will be
Heavier
it
sickles.
for
Well, actually, I would say if you take the local blades, you'd be able to either decide which kind of damage you want to do. As in, if you go for the Fostrio Kukri, would be on your, if you want to go slashing or piercing. That is the...
Oh. I like choices.
Okay.
I'll take that.
Okay. Pay the price, and you can definitely add a short sword with, and you'll just add in sort of Fostrio blade, and I'll go and change things.
Okay, thank you.
Right. Anybody else?
I think that's it for the armory.
Anymore.
That's it for the armory.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, as we exit the armory, Gil Ooh, I'm getting tired.
It's not me this time! It's not me this time!
Gale's your other cleric.
Yeah, Astrea would probably give a little, the motherly slap at the back of the head of Farron. Like, stop trying your... Nope, we don't do that here.
He messed with Pax, but smiles.
Okay. For all intents and purposes, we had a little roleplay moment. I don't want the shopping episode to go through 2 or 3 sessions. I propose we're gonna stop here because it is getting late, and we still have our debriefing to do. Might be a bit short. You have access to those cards. I will share them on our private Discord as well, so that you can go and make your selection. Just let me know what you buy, how much it costs, and then we'll move on. And if there are any complications, we'll roll them at the beginning of next session to see how it goes. Okay? How does that sound?
Sounds good.
Very
Sounds
fair.
good?
I mean,
Okay.
otherwise we will have 3 shopping episodes, sir. You know us.
Oh, and of course, and as soon as Farron decides I want to throw a spell at a shopkeeper who knows his material, I'm going, come on.
Listen, you gotta shoot your shot.
Oh, absolutely. Just don't necessarily do it on somebody who's got I should
Who's
put it.
actively looking at their wares and getting something special out in front of you. That is like the least subtle way you can do it.
Yeah,
Let's dive into that in the
Let's dive
after
into the
talk.
comment. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Friends, foes, those undeclared, you know the drill, you know the story. If you're here just for the story, the next episode will come up soon, whether immediately or just wait for a week. If you are here to follow our debriefing and know our thoughts from the last two episodes, well, just stick around for a few moments. We're gonna refresh our drinks, refresh our snacks, and we will see you in just a second. See you then. And yeah, let's do this. And we're back.
Woo!
So,
Hello.
shenanigans.
Shenanigans indeed.
Shenanigans.
Never.
Shenanigans? Yeah, shenanigans.
Attempts at shenanigans.
Yes, very much so.
Questionable shenanigans.
I mean, look, that is the one trick you got back from that leprechaun or whatever that creature was. So might as well use it, right?
Yeah. That was my thought exactly, because it's been rotting away in my spell list, and as I was upgrading to level 4, I was like, did I even use that once? And then he was a dick to my crewmate, and I thought, might as well.
What do you mean?
And
he
I
was a
haven't
dick?
shenaniganed.
It wasn't especially a dick.
Well, close enough.
He had options, which, to be fair, were legit.
I feel like, and I don't want to fill it in for you, Andreas, but I feel like there was this moment of Farron going like, Pax is being shoved in like a verbal corner in a verbal battle, and that's my thing. And you're bullying my friend in my specialty. I'm getting you back, motherfucker.
Oh, there was a lot of that. There was a lot of that.
Yep.
There was also kind of like, the fuck did you just say? There was, and I figured, hey, might as well fire one off, see what it does. And then I saw, what's the save? Oh, 14. Never mind.
Never mind.
But still, fun times.
Level 4. Level 4. Level 4.
But still, it's been a while since Farron kind of like shenaniganed. I think the last time he messed up quite so bad was when he started kind of like mouthing off during the interrogation while he was still tied up.
I feel like this is always going to be a situation of Farron being the unruly one, Gizmo being the chaotic one, and Pax being the destructive one. In this scenario, yes, Astrea, you are the mom.
I mean, the thing is,
I know.
Those are the moments where I realize that Farron still moves through life as if he's a white man in the United States. You know, it's.
Yeah, strangely, that hasn't been edited out of his story.
No. Maybe there's a lesson to be learned still.
By the way, that intro scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
So So one of the things that we discussed is that we did not know where the word Farron came from, the name Farron came from.
I mean, it's not his name. I originally, when I started looking for a name, I found that the name Farron, according to some translations, means just handsome servant. And I was like, okay, that's a useful thing to have. But what is his actual name? He doesn't even know it. So did whoever kind of like, did the leprechaun just pick that name and was like, oh, that's a funny joke based on something? Was it based on something else?
The
DM knows.
The DM has implied here that your name are the initials FA and then your signature becoming illegible, but you can just pick out the first three letters that are RON. Therefore making Farron.
Farron. Yeah, that makes sense. But that's going to be one of his questions.
The only thing you have left is what is that signature of yours, basically. As you signed away your name and memories.
Yes, and that hasn't had any negative consequences whatsoever on his life. No, it's gonna be interesting also to see, because if with like a cosmic voyeur kind of like behind his eyes, there's the implication of, do I play to the audience? Like, what does the audience want to see versus what my story is supposed to be? And I'm not quite sure. Basically, is he going to try to play his hand, or is he going to try and play the people across him from the table? In this case, the genie. I don't know yet. Gotta find out. Gotta make some sound and wise decisions.
That's why you have an editor.
It's going to be hard to play the genie if you have to go through a middleman.
Yep.
I mean,
and
are you cutting up there, Farron?
No. I think we our sentences ran into each other. No, I like the middleman. I like the idea of the ink genasi, but like the idea of kind of like someone who was like the scribe of the story. One of my favorite kids stories had the old man from the story of everything happening, and there is the same thing of, oh, what happens if you start reading from it, and then kind of like it becomes kind of like a feedback loop. So yeah, it's an interesting concept.
I really like the cosmic effect of everything. reading your own story would create a paradox because you're reading your own story, and it's writing that you're reading your own story while you're reading your own and it just, feedback loop. But also, like, kudos to our GM. I love the idea of an ink genasi. I love the idea of a being so powerful enough to just go like, well, I'm creating my own population now, and it's ink because that's my jam.
Oh, Jam Genasi could be interesting.
Jam Genasi could be sticky situations, to be fair.
Oh god, no.
The detail I loved is the nail that is literally being used as a fountain pen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that was... Oh my god.
Also,
mean, you want to be able to hold your book and just continue to write.
That makes so much sense.
I want it to be a fly in Farron's head, just to hear his thought when he saw a statue of himself, arms wide, with a book that writes itself and flips pages around and then flies into a cabinet to then get another book flying. Damn, that's a mindfuck, man.
It is, and I think there is a lot of Farron's story has been like, oh, I am a very, very small kind of like fish in a very, very big pond, and I keep getting dragged in things where I don't realize how much over my head I am. Because the first time with the leprechaun, it was like, oh, you think this is a party? This is your funeral. You're getting fleeced to the bone, and your only way out is to go further down the rabbit hole. And now again with this guy, and it's like, I think I'm in the wrong class. I think I'm in a different movie than every other Aetherial.
I'm a big fan of the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher, and throughout the series, the protagonist literally keeps punching above his weight, because whenever he punches above his weight, he has the strength of somebody else who's indebted to. And it just keeps going. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, right? And he gets more embedded and does more deals and gets more. And at some point, you're going, dude, when is it going to stop? Because you realize that he can. The only way not to hit rock bottom is to continue falling. And so you dig yourself deeper. You make sure that hole keeps going as far as you want, because if you stop digging, you hit the ground. And it kind of feels like what Farron is going through.
Well, Farron's definitely on the precipice.
Okay, you say that.
I mean, you chose that life. You chose that warlock life for your character.
I did. I did, and I see like that. But you described that, the idea of, oh, I have no choice but to kind of like fall deeper down. It also, deep cut, but it reminds me of, the Caiaphas Cain novels for Warhammer 40k?
Not read those, but they're on my list.
Right, so the basic concept is kind of like, those are the post-mortem memoirs that are highly classified.
Right.
Of a supposed hero of the Imperium, who is kind of like, the mimetic badass, kind of like, oh, he walked behind enemy lines and kind of like marched back to the front. Oh, he liberated planets with just, a screwdriver in his wits.
Yeah.
And it's basically the story of this guy who was like, you don't understand. I wanted to stay away from the moor as much as possible. I wanted to just run and hide, and I just through sheer dumb luck had to, somehow find my way out. Yeah, but basically, since he builds up this reputation, a lot more people become interested in him, and they send him to more dangerous missions, and he can't refuse the missions, and so he's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. I'm the hero.
Oh no! Forget Munchausen. He's in full. What's the name of the wizard in Pratchett in Discworld?
Rincewind.
Rincewind. He's in full Rincewind, basically. It's the 40k version of Rincewind. I like that.
That is a terrifying notion.
Yeah, and so so we had the intro. Then you've met You've met. We had the scenes, the camp scenes between you two.
Yeah, I absolutely love the different expression of worry across the three boys while Astrea was out. We had Gizmo that literally... I mean, what went through Gizmo's head? Because I don't want to speak for you. Like, Gizmo disappeared in his corner. What went through his head at that moment? Was it really just distraction, or...
It's not distraction, it's basically the same thing that he had in his mind last session when he was thinking back at the same episode that happened in his life way before this adventure, and he doesn't want that to repeat again. So he went full on survival mode for future potential maybe happenings.
I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it last post show, right? Where this is kind of the transition between the artillerist going into Maverick, right?
Yeah.
Where you're going, you know what? Cannons is fun, but I need something more practical, more usable, and therefore taking apart the Eldritch Cannon, all the pieces, and going, okay, what can I use this for this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And yes, by the way, Nader, in his own sort of personal channel on Discord, has pretty much given me a full list of all the spells that he has, and every one is linked to a particular gadget, so it's going to be fun.
Oh, that's fun. That's awesome.
Can you guess, Nader, can you guess which cantrip is linked to that mask?
I genuinely don't know the Artificer's spell book that well.
It actually technically could be. I think that one's cleric.
Yep.
Oh.
You know what? You there. I will give the answer beginning of next episode. Put it in the comments and we'll see who wins. Yeah, good thing the
muted,
cleric is muted. We will confirm that after that. But anyways.
I think I know.
Okay,
I
fair
didn't
enough.
say the name, but I'm pretty sure what he described. I think I know what cantrip it is.
If you want to put it in the Discord under Out of Game, we will be able to tell you. If not, well, actually put it in your own. That way the others don't see it.
I think it's gonna be fun because now every time I'll have to first describe the gadget to give you guys the chance to try and guess what spell it matches with, and then it's gonna be something completely different. Because
nope, no, it is not that.
No?
It is not that.
Interesting.
Anyways, yeah. So, sorry, I kind of interrupted. So Gizmo, yes, the whole Maverick thing, where now you're making. And to be honest, when I looked at the list of spells that you chose with not only the Maverick, right? The Maverick allows you to pick up other spells from different spell lists, and you took the in Magic Initiate for Cleric, and so you've taken there's a protection, what was the thought process? Is that Gizmo basically panicking, I'm becoming a healer because of panic?
it is a little bit of that, yes, 100%. But also on the other hand, it's Gizmo trying to, instead of always relying only on himself, trying to actually starting at least to get some pieces of knowledge and information from the others. And the first one that is more natural to follow is the captain in this case.
Okay, I see Captain do a spell. I'll try to recreate it through a gadget.
Exactly.
Gizmo spell thief.
Yeah, kind of.
I played a character like that. Every single time he went up a level, all of his spells were directly stolen from the others. Yeah, I like it. I really like it. And then the conversation between Pax and Farron. was you guys give intense conversations.
Oh my god, yes.
In general, not just those two, but you four in general.
Listen, you wanted a narrative table.
Oh yeah.
You came to us and you said, guys, I've got this idea for this story. I have this thought of putting all of you together. It's going to be a heavy narrative table. And, well,
Oh, I mean, it's easy for me. I need to pad my episodes. I'm going, I don't think this shopping episode's going to last 3 hours. I should have known better. Let's have a camp scene, and then I get an hour and a half right there.
No,
You know,
but I also figured it was the logical consequence to have that conversation still, because it also builds on the
Builds on the
relationship that these two have been having since. I mean, they've known each other for in-game not that long, but long enough to kind of like begin to size each other up.
2 weeks? 3
And
weeks?
with both of them trying to live up to their something, max, kind of like, especially if you include ship travel, like if that stretches it out a little bit, but and at this point, I think it makes sense for them to try and work together as people who've been thrust into this new position, certainly a new position for Farron. So, no, it was fun.
Yeah. And then after that,
And you were going to say something, by the way, Panda.
yeah, I'm just going to segue on what you said because I was pretty much going to say the same thing. I really like how, yet again, the relationships are settling into more comfort. There was that degree, right, where we knew we could rely on each other, where we knew we had the survival thing. Then when we got through a stress situation together at Maladel, when we all got locked up, now we're moving onto an expedition together. And I feel like every single step, there is something that rattles inside all of our routines to do differently or think unexpectedly. I loved Astrea having nervosity and unease, which is something we haven't seen at all on Astrea before. In this situation of vulnerability, we saw a sad Gizmo last session, like genuinely blaming himself, going into, well, I wasn't good enough, so I need to build better.
yeah. The flesh is weak.
You know, we went into Farron, and don't think I'm blind to it, mister. Like, Pax might be, but you just had a fucked up nightmare and you pretended all day was fine. We're getting to that. You'll slip up. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Mothering Pax, which is also a fully new facet for
Yeah.
Yeah, because reptiles are so motherly.
Is it new? Because I feel like there is. I think it's just peeling back the layers of what Pax is. I mean, I think a lot of his anger, a lot of his kind of like bluster, a lot of his aggressiveness is born out of worry. So I feel like in a way this was always there. It's just that now we get to see it when the anger doesn't serve its purpose anymore, and like because that in many ways was also the point of the conversation, is like, what do you do in a scenario where being angry and strong doesn't win?
Without spoiling anything, what I think I can say in this situation is Pax was very much used to being directed to fix something by a very strategic and ruthless captain. Being in a situation where he has time to worry is not something he's experienced ever before.
Mm-hmm. ADHD confirmed. What?
No, it's the evolution is going really. It's funny because for characters who have known each other. We've known these characters for 3 weeks in game. They've changed quite a bit from what they were on T0, on that beach.
That's true.
On Shipwreck Reef, which I truly appreciate. Then we've had those conversations. Then we met with the leader of the play, and her wife.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't play it enough because Astrea was still very much into stress territory. But yeah, the only reason she didn't get into her more was because we still needed the town to be pretty positive towards us. So yeah.
I fully second that, and you can thank Farron for Pax having that clarity of mind in that moment to go, oh, partner, fuck, so I can't give her a bloody nose. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hide. That was a test period. It could have gone both ways. Let's just say that the fact that it went full way means that you didn't have that 20% up price.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's and then of course we had the shopping, with the little play with the tiefling. I'm interested to see. Shopping episodes can be can be sort of. They can be fun, at least for the players. For the audience, I can understand that at some point you're going, ugh, right? Yep. I will actually most likely have to put a trigger warning of going shopping episode, start at the after show. But it's I think it can be. One shopping scene can be fun.
This shopping episode was probably less boring than it could have been, simply because you also see the different characters interact with someone else, and very much in character.
And
looking at you, Farron.
It's also, in my opinion, an opportunity for each and one of you to show me your styles. As in, okay, now that you have the choice and the means, how do you dress yourself, right? What kind of sword? What are you looking for in a sword? What are you looking for in an axe? What are you looking for in armor? Right? Astrea is going, okay, I need something to protect me with the symbol of my god. Farron goes, peacock. And no, it's basically, I want to pay the most outrageous thing because I need this person to be on my side. I fucked up and I'm paying the I'm trying to buy this guy's love back.
Which is interesting and very Farron.
Well, to be fair, this guy has earned some royal tippage from us.
Yep. By the way, I might switch my weapon because I just looked at the Warpick, and I think that's much more of a Astrea style than a Bawa. Yeah. So I think it's gonna be Warpick.
Okay, go ahead.
And it's also 5 gold pieces less.
Fair enough. By the way, because I see, I'm just warning you, if you're looking for any magical items, they will be very difficult to find here. We will have to roll for that.
Alright, good to know.
Yeah, this is mostly anything that you can find into the basic, maybe common magical items. So if you're looking for a cloak of billowing, or if you're looking for a veteran's blade, maybe, but anything that is sort of higher than that, it's going to be a bit more complicated.
Okay.
We don't have the money for anything higher than that anyway.
Well, and I will talk to Nathan about this. There are some very, very cheap cards, items on those lists, including I believe there's you can, but without any descriptions of the actual items. So, And going, oh yeah, for 55 gold, you can buy a magic ring that gives you a cantrip. Okay. We'll see. On that note, anything else to be discussed, or shall we drop off here for tonight?
I think we're good.
Okay, then.
It's fun that Panda, you describe it as a nightmare because of course you're right. But the thing is, I'm not even sure if Farron sees it that way. I think to him it's just, okay, I guess these are the new rules, and just rolls with it without taking the time to process just how fucked up the situation is.
We'll see if it comes up, man. I'm
We'll
so
see.
curious when this comes up. Right now it's in Farron's brain.
Indeed.
I mean, there's...
Right then.
Farron, there is that... I just looked it up. There is, in Paradise Lost by John Milton, there is the quote, "The mind is its own place, and in itself can make heaven of hell a hell of heaven." You are master of your own story. You have your personal editor. What you want to make of it is going to be, if it's a comedy, tragedy, epic poem, all you know is that at some point it's going to end. But other than that...
I mean, what's the thing about the D&D party always getting to choose the DM gets to decide if it's a heist, but you don't know if it's going to be the Pink Panther music.
Or Mission Impossible, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, Farron, literally, Farron is given those tools in hand.
This will end in tears.
If you so choose. And on that
I'll have
note,
to find out.
I think we're gonna close in for tonight. Friends, foes, those undeclared, thank you for watching. Thank you to my 4 players for allowing me to run them aground again and again and again. Let me know at some point if the bleed moves on to you. If I want to traumatize your characters, not you. So thank you again for your playing. Thank you for your support. And to you who are watching, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next time upon Waves of Starlight. Enjoy the evening. Have fun. Stay safe.